Imagine inventing something. The world declares you a genius, and just when you think it's a happy ending, that invention kills you. We're hitting rock bottom with dark humor today, because history is, unfortunately, more creative than Netflix series on this subject. For example, Marie Curie, right? The legendary female scientist who discovered radioactivity, 2 Nobel Prizes, the queen of science and all that. But here's an anecdote. Marie didn't know how dangerous radiation was because she had discovered it herself, and it hadn't been proven dangerous before. So she carried radium tubes in her pocket, put them in her bedroom so they would glow at night. Seriously, like Pinterest aesthetics, but the deadly version. And she even kept a special notebook for her experiments that is still so radioactive today that it's stored in a special lead box and requires special permission to touch. So while you're saying, my files are safe on Google Drive, this woman's notes could literally take you out of life. Result? In 1934, aplastic anemia, her bone marrow collapsed due to radiation. This isn't one of those "I accidentally did something cool" stories on Reddit. This is "I accidentally irradiated myself to death" level. Or let's look at Thomas Migley Jr. This guy was the engineer who made the most harmful inventions of the 20th century, CFCs, the things that puncture the ozone layer. If you're going to ask how one person can destroy the environment twice, the answer is being an engineer at GM and knowing a bit about chemistry. Migley inhaled gasoline at a press conference to show that leaded gasoline was safe. Spoiler, it was very dangerous. Experienced lead poisoning, then went on vacation to recover. But here's the real irony. When the guy was 55, he contracted polio and became bedridden. Invented a complex rope and pulley system to help himself. And, yes, you guessed it, got tangled in the ropes of his own invention and died by strangulation. This isn't a Shakespeare tragedy. This is Final Destination Inventor Edition. Science historians say Migley's impact on the atmosphere is greater than any other single organism. The guy poisoned the world while alive, continued puncturing the ozone layer even after his death, then got tangled in his own rope and was gone. Now, let's examine dentistry, because Horace Wells' story is a perfect no good deed goes unpunished example. In 1844, he's watching a circus show. A guy takes nitrous oxide, laughing gas, and goes on stage, leaves his leg covered in wounds but doesn't feel pain. Wells thought, I can use this in tooth extraction, and had his own tooth pulled. No pain. Success. But at the live demonstration he did at Harvard, the patient screamed in pain. Not enough gas was given. The audience said, fraud. The guy was disgraced. Then he became addicted to chloroform. One day, while under the influence of chloroform, he threw acid at 2 women and was arrested, took chloroform in his cell, and cut his femoral artery. Gave up his life at 33. The irony? After his loss, the American Dental Association declared him the father of anesthesia. So, the guy was treated like fake news while alive, became a legend after his death. History is ruthless, but not fair, my friend. Let's get to Alexander Bogdanov. This Russian scientist was trying to discover rejuvenation through blood transfusion. In the 1920s, he gave himself blood transfusions 11 times and said, I feel younger. Whether placebo or real, we don't know, but the vibe was good. Then, in 1928, he gave himself a blood transfusion from a student who had malaria and tuberculosis, got sepsis, and subsequently lost his life. From a scientific method perspective, he had a hypothesis, he had experiments, no peer review, definitely no ethics committee, like a guy testing Darwin's natural selection theory on himself. In the internet age, it would have gone viral as life hack, blood transfusions for anti-aging, then made the news with the headline, Influencer Dies from Own Hack. Or William Bullock. In 1863, he invented the rotary printing press, accelerated the newspaper industry, everyone was happy. But in 1867, while repairing his machine, he caught his foot in the machine's belt, and his foot was crushed, got infected with gangrene. No antibiotics back then. His leg was amputated. He lost his life a few days after surgery. The guy was literally crushed by his own invention. This isn't don't meet your heroes. This is a don't repair your inventions without OSHA regulations situation. Now let's look scientifically. Most of these tragic endings were due to radiation damage, poisoning, or infection. Marie Curie's body was bombarded with alpha and beta particles. DNA helixes were broken. Cell division was disrupted. Migley's lead poisoning was neurotoxic. It disrupted his nervous system. Wells's chloroform addiction depressed his central nervous system, collapsed his decision-making mechanism. Bogdanov's sepsis condition was the systemic spread of bacterial infection through the blood, treatable with antibiotics today, but led to fatal consequences in 1928. Science progresses, but sometimes the inventors become victims, just like beta testers. But this next time. There's no respawn. That's why today we have ethics committees, safety protocols, FDA approvals. While Marie Curie's notebooks are still stored in a lead box today, we get radiation from smartphones and become paranoid, saying 5G is killing us. History teaches us this. Geniuses can change the world, but sometimes that change takes them down too. This isn't a cautionary tale. This is a play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but make history story. So next time you invent something, write the user manual first, then try it. Otherwise, your Wikipedia page won't say cause of death. Ironic. It'll say cause of death, own invention.